Hi, and welcome to this week's video blog on Some Assembly Required. I'm Sarah Hammerker, and I'm glad you joined me. Today I want to talk about Crazy Rich Asians, the new romantic comedy that's out in theaters. If you want to read a good review of it, you can read my husband's on Pathos. I included a link above this video. You don't have to have seen the movie to get the gist of today's video. I just want to talk about the expectations we, especially as mothers, have for our children and how that can get muddied and really not be healthy. So in the movie, this is really all you need to know. The son of a very rich family, although the amount of money the family had is irrelevant because this can happen even in families with no money. The mother has specific expectations for his life, including who he's going to marry. Watch the movie, it's kind of fun. It shows you how that relationship kind of plays out. But what was interesting was that the mom had all her expectations for her own future and the future of the family wrapped up in what she thought her son should do. It wasn't like a bad thing for the son to take over the family business. It wasn't a bad thing for a mother to want their son to marry someone they think would be a good match in many ways. But it highlights, I think, the danger that we women especially can fall into in thinking that we know best and our way is the only right way for our children to behave or to do. This can be translated into how personal we take our children's failures and successes. Perfect example is those bumper stickers, "My kid is an honor student." I mean, why? Why are you having that on your car? Nothing wrong with it per se, but let's think about it. Are you tying your identity too closely with your child? And this is what this mother in the movie was doing. Her identity was so entrenched in what her son did that she did some things that are not very nice. So watch the movie. I'm not going to give the movie away, what happened there, but let's think about this. Are our expectations for our children, are we taking their successes, their failures too much to heart so that we don't really have an identity separate from them? We only have their expectations. So when a child does something wrong, chooses the wrong spouse in our minds, doesn't go with the lawyer or the doctor route, doesn't want to go to Harvard, how do we react? What is our, how are we dealing with that? How you deal with your child and their successes and their failures really tells you if you're having too much of an expectation wrapped up in what they do. We don't want to be like that mom. We really don't. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for us. It's not healthy for our kids. Our kids need to know that we support them. Our kids sometimes need hard advice from us. They need us to tell them certain things, and we need to be upfront about that, and we need to say hard words when they're necessary, sure. But we also need to realize that their choices are their choices. They don't really reflect on us. They reflect on us only in the sense that they're our children. So we need to be very careful that we're not blurring that line too much between what we feel is our due and our right as their mother and what is their right as a child. So many times we think that because we're their mother, we have say in everything that they do. This is why there's helicopter parents. And frankly, there's very few helicopter dads. It's mostly helicopter moms. Because we're the ones who are like, oh, they can't fail because if they fail, it reflects badly on me. When in reality, failing is a gift for our child. If your child is not able to pass Algebra 1 without you sitting down with them every single night and doing 3 hours of homework, your child does not need to pass Algebra 1. If your child doesn't want to do his or her homework in high school, doesn't care about the test, sure, you should encourage them with consequences and hard, tough love, etc., to help them realize that this is important, they should do as well as they could. But ultimately, it's your child's choice. And sometimes our kids make the wrong choices. Sometimes they want to marry the person we don't think they want to marry. Sometimes they want to go into a profession that we think, that might not work out well for you. But we have to let them, and we have to support them as long as they're not doing something that's against God's law, God's will. Then, we love them, but we don't actively support them. There is a difference. And let's be careful that we don't become like the mom in Crazy Rich Asians, who is so focused on what is expected by the family that she can't see that her son, A, is a grown man and perfectly capable of making his own decisions, and B, that his decision really isn't like wild and crazy. To fall in love with this woman, she's perfectly fine. They need to realize that our children are not always going to choose like we choose. They're not always going to do like we do. And yes, we have wisdom and we should encourage them to think about all their options, but we also should also give them a lot of leeway to be who God is calling them to be and to support that. Thank you for joining me for today's video blog, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks.